Okay, so this is a little diagram of the cycler orbits and a little bit about that. You can go and look at the other video on that subject, but right now we're talking about chicken coops in microgravity. And isn't that cool? So I've got this tin can here, and I'm going to use that as a little template to draw the centrifuge for the chickens. And I'm gonna have to set this camera up, and when I set it up I won't be able to see the screen worth a darn, so I really don't know for sure just exactly how well that's gonna work. So forgive me for a few seconds, but you can hear me talk and I can tell you about it as I go. Okay, you probably can't see it, so we'll make it quick. I'm drawing a circle. Okay, and we're going to draw a little something in there that's supposed to be a chicken, and it doesn't really look like it, but use your imagination, because, you know, and they're blue, so they're blue chickens. They're not blue chicken. There's no such thing as blue chickens, but okay. Here we go. Okay, so here's our chicken coop, and I need to describe some things so you understand what you're looking at. And it's super hard to hold this camera with the left hand. Okay, so remember, up is in, right? Because this is a centrifuge and it spins. It can spin either direction. I just put the arrows so that you can see that it spins, but we'll put arrows in both directions because it's choosable. And if you have one, you need two because you need to cancel out sympathetic motion, unless you're designing for it. Now, this can be any number of G's within certain limits. You may actually have them at, say, 1 1/4 G. Make strong chickens. Who knows? Maybe you like the muscle that you get out of it. But down is this way. Okay? Down is out. In space, in microgravity, down is out because you're going to be on a centrifuge. Okay? Now, the floor of your chicken coop is mesh, just like you're used to if you've raised chickens. And a lot of people have been raising chickens lately. Okay? So, where does the poop go? It goes out, away from your centrifuge. Now, that's going to be a management issue because out in this environment, there is no G. It's microgravity, right? So what's out in outside of this ring is free floating unless you have fans moving stuff, and then it's going to be coated in whatever comes out of the bottom of a chicken coop. Feathers, semi-composted leaves covered in bird poop, and more bird poop. So, how do you manage for that? Now, the quilted composted materials impregnated with plants is discussed in several of the other videos. So let's say that we build a framework around with lots of that quilting, okay, and plants growing out of that quilting, so that as this centrifuge splatters that material outward, it's going to be splattering it all over the place. It'll get caught by this material, which is full of compost, and you could make it kind of thick and grow your plants out of the outside. So outside this, you're going to have all of these plants growing. Okay, and it's all in blue because I don't have another color of chalk handy at the moment. Okay, so you've got all these plants growing on the outside, and that protects the rest of your environment outside in your free floating microgravity areas from that super strong nitrogen, chicken poop and chicken feathers and this kind of stuff. And then you can access the cage from a face. You can put a face across this whole thing and then access through here. And you might even let the chickens come and go from this centrifuge if they get used to it, and they can run around on the inside here and eat insects. And you might put insects in there, worms and so forth, that will help the composting process, and maybe even have certain kinds of fungi in there, like mushrooms or whatever that you like. Mycology helps compost, so why not bring it up? You can use it. And there's how to do a microgravity centrifugal chicken coop. Okay, I'm going to cover up this stuff because I do it in a spot where it's covered with the it's covered with the mat, so nobody gets mad about me drawing stuff. I'm getting ready to pack up and move out of my little sleepy spot. So you're going to get to see me do that, because this is American Nomad News, and I am a bit of a nomad. First thing is I move everything off of the mat and over to a relatively clean area, so I keep my bedding and stuff clean. Always, always, always clean your spot. Neatness counts in large amounts. People appreciate it when you're nice about that kind of thing. Now, some people viewing these videos may object to meat-based products, and if they want to run the station and they want to live a vegetarian lifestyle, then they're going to have to figure out how to do the nutrient cycle without eating the meat. And that's up to them. But as the nutrient cycle is symbiotic in nature and benefits from a rich variety of different types of organisms, all part of the same setup, I'm working on this from the perspective of a polysystemic setup. And I broke the tip off my camping knife. I use that for so many things. Okay. I gotta go to fly a sign or I'm gonna starve. Unless I go to the food bank, which means then I'd have to carry all that stuff around all the time. Cash is a lot lighter and a lot more merciful to my difficult way of living. This isn't exactly 15 minutes, more like about 9. So I'm going to let you guys go on this so I can finish up my packing without overcomplication. This is Darren Marchant with American Nomad News. God bless and thank you. This has been a Station Dynamics and Microgravity Chicken Coop segment.